Hello traders, welcome back to my channel. Today we're looking at EMAs. I made a post on this on my Insta earlier and you guys really liked it, so I'm going to kind of get into the specifics on EMAs, but I'm going to keep it short, condensed to the point, tell you what you need to know about them, and that is that. Before I get started, please subscribe to my channel. It helps me out a lot. Also, like the video if you want to see more videos like this one. So we're going to go over three really main points, okay? Main points here regarding EMAs. So the first one is going to be that it helps us measure really the strength of a trend, okay? That's how I use it anyway. Of course, everything in Forex trading is subjective, you guys. So you might use EMAs differently. If you have a mentor that uses it differently, it's not wrong. It's just this is my way of doing it. Should point out to you that I use the 9 and 20 day EMAs, okay? And also, you can also use just simple moving averages called SMAs. EMAs are exponential moving averages, okay? And basically, it's just including more data, and therefore, I find it more accurate. I don't use SMAs very often. I'll go ahead and say I rarely use them, okay? Unless I'm helping a student or something like that. I do not always have moving averages plotted on my chart either. It's not something I keep here, okay? I'll only put them on when I'm either looking at a trend or to help me confirm an entry, and I'll get into that in a little bit. If you go into settings, this is where you can change the length and the style, okay? So as I said, I use 9 and 20 is the other one I use. You can make them whatever colors you want, and you find them under indicators, okay? You just search up exponential. It's the first thing that should pop up. Moving average exponential, there it is, okay? Not going to get into kind of like the nitty gritty boring details of what an exponential moving average is. Like if you want to look that up, you totally can. The math and all that, we're not getting into it because it's just going to make me ramble. So yeah, the first thing we want to look at, it's going to tell us how strong our trend is. So basically, honestly, I'm going to keep this really simple. The further apart these lines are, the stronger your trend. That's it. That's really all I use to look at that, okay? For instance, if I'm looking at the 4-hour chart, right? And this is generally where I do my analysis because I am a swing/day trader. When I see that these lines are getting further and further apart, I know I have a lot of momentum and a really nice solid trend, okay? What does that really do for me? Well, it can do a variety of things. If you're someone who trades, a breakout, it might give you opportunity for entry at a support or resistance area. So for instance, we have a support level here. Let's make these lines black for this video. We have a support level here, price breaks through. We see that the trend is looking really strong. You might be able to enter a breakout trade, okay? That's depending on your style. The other thing that will allow you to do is just show you that you're in a strong trending market, so you can look for retests, right? That's really all that's doing. So I'm not going to get into too much of that because it's as simple as it sounds. Just helps us identify a strong trend. Okay, so the further apart these lines are, the stronger your trend. When you see them starting to go closer together, you've guessed it, your trend is probably either ending or you're getting like news or consolidation occurring. Okay, so news meaning a big news release happened and you saw a big pullback or something like that. 2, so this is the second thing we looked at today. It can also show us, it can also give us entry points, okay? Big disclaimer, I would never, ever, ever enter based on this alone. You guys know this. You know that I trade based on price action. I trade zone to zone, right? But I will use this as confirmation. So what do I mean by that? When these lines, okay, cross, so they're crossing here, they're crossing probably somewhere in there, but it's too hard to even see it. So I'm going to look for more of an easier spot. And now that's going to move on us too. I'll just use the circles on TradingView to highlight for you guys. Here's another example here, you guys. Okay, so let's just look at this one. All right, so the two lines are crossing here. All right, what I would do is, had I already marked this as an entry point, okay, so I drew in my zones because I trade zone to zone. All right, so I drew in a zone here. I'm actually going to do this. Bear with me. Extend my rectangle. Okay, so we have that zone drawn in. Let's say I, wanted to enter on the breakout. Now, usually I will enter on the retest, but for the purpose of this video, let's not get too into that. Let's say I did want to enter on the breakout. So I entered at, this candle here. There's more to it than just looking for a long candle, but for the purpose of this video, let's say I went to the 15-minute, confirmed that we had a nice breakout of this area, price action confirmed, and I needed another confirmation. I would use this EMA cross to confirm that entry, okay? Because essentially what this is telling me is that our downtrend has ended. We have some indecision, okay? And now price is moving up. When we're moving down, you'll notice that the exponential moving average, right? The blue, which is our 20, is on the outside, okay? When we're going up, so when we're in an uptrend, let's get like a nice solid uptrend to show you guys what I mean. I'd like to get it where it was really trending. So the blue is on the outside here. You guys are seeing that. And this pair is consolidating a lot, so we're not really seeing anything super nice. But you can see again here, okay, the blue is on the outside as well, all right? The big difference here is that, and we're going to talk about this next, when we're in a downtrend, okay, the blue is, the two moving averages are on the outside or like on top, right? They're kind of acting as a resistance in a way. When we're moving up, they kind of act as a support. Do you see what I'm saying there? And we'll go into that into more detail next. But that's the big thing, you guys. So I would use that cross just to confirm an entry that I've already determined with my zone-to-zone strategy or whatever strategy you guys use, okay? 3. So the third thing we're going to look at is what I was just talking about. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to talk about, I just briefly spoke about before, is that these lines can actually act as support and resistance, okay? So what I mean by that, and we're gonna look for a few examples here. When we are trending up, okay, the blue, like I said, is always on the outside, right? But both EMAs, or both moving averages, are on the bottom of this trend, right? And they act as a support. And what I mean by that is, do you see how these, your candles here, will almost retest them, okay? They'll retest the lines and move up. Again, they'll retest the line and move up. This just helps you to confirm multiple entries, okay? Or multiple entry points. Exact same thing as when those lines cross. You don't want to rely on this, all right? You definitely don't want to rely on this. But, and I'll show you in a prime example of why we don't rely on this. It doesn't always work. If you get a big news candle, like look at this candle here, you can't fully rely on that, because anything in currency trading is subjective, and it's not always going to, be textbook with any one indicator, right? So you do need to monitor price action as well, but it is something that you can look at and say, okay, here we've got, let's look at a downtrend now. So we can say, all right, we're at a zone, right? Because we're right at a zone here. We're seeing rejection. Now it is a little bit above our zone, but that's fine because we're still in the area, right? And we're rejecting our moving average. You can use the rejection of this moving average because you see how it came all the way up to that blue one. It showed rejection, meaning we see a nice long wick, and then price action pushes right on down. So you can use this as just an extra confirmation, okay, for your entry. And the more confirmations you get, the better, the more likely it is that your trade's going to work out. So you can't really go wrong with multiple confirmations, okay? Same thing here. Let's look at this one. So price came up. We're on a downtrend, right? We're really close to a zone, or we might even be we're probably at another zone up here. I just don't have one drawn in. Let's draw in at least a support line. So we would have a zone right around here. Price comes up. It rejects our EMA, right? We can use this as confirmation. And then we get some downward momentum. Now, we didn't get it till a little bit later, but we did eventually get it, and we could have taken the trade. But this just would have been an extra confirmation for me. Make sense? Let's go over this one more time, because this can be a little confusing. It's something different. All right, so let's look at right here. So I have my zone here, right? So I'm looking for rejection at this zone because that's how I trade. I look for a rejection and a push up. We're on a bit of an uptrend here, so I would have been looking for buys. All right. We have price coming down. It tests these two moving averages, okay? We do get a little bit of slippage outside of it, but that's fine. We can now use this rejection here as confirmation. So it's just an extra way that you can confirm entry points. I definitely would not use this alone to trade. Don't start plotting EMAs and then using them as support and resistance. That's definitely not the point. It's just something I want to highlight because it might help you. It might give you some extra confirmations to go along with your strategy. So whatever that might be. I hope you liked this video. I did try to keep it kind of to the point and shorter. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If there's anything else you want to know about EMAs, let me know. I did not go over everything in this one video because it would be too long. I just tried to include the 3 most important things I look at. So hopefully you took something from this. I will see you guys in our next video.